You're from Germany, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know German food, but I don't imagine that it's like really spicy, right?
No, it's not.
Like, how would Korean food do in Germany?
Surprisingly, there are more and more stores popping up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We have also, like in any other country, the Japanese sushi culture.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last, I would say 5 years, more and more Korean restaurants are popping up. And what's really popular, what's getting popular is this tiny grill that you put on the table and you put your samgyeopsal in and you grill it yourself. And it's more as an experience for the Germans. I want to do it myself. It's so much different from what I know. Some people, tiny fractions say like, oh, why do I have to do it myself? Right? But like, if you like other cultures and you've like experienced the Asian culture and you can do it by yourself, maybe you have a staff showing you how to do it. That's really exciting.
That's true.
And that's, I think, the main reason why it's getting widely popular these days.
And you guys have a big Korean community.
Yeah, in Frankfurt. Like Frankfurt is the business city.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the only direct flight from Korea to Germany is Seoul, Frankfurt. And in Frankfurt are all the big companies. Samsung, Hyundai, Kia, Nexon, what you name them. Because of that, the Korean bigger companies, they send the coordinators into like the European headquarters because they're all in Frankfurt more or less.
Okay.
So that being said, the community in Frankfurt is building up. Yeah. And they like to go to their own country restaurants all the time.
Oh, sure.
Oh, it's hella expensive though.
Oh, is it?
It's so expensive.
Why is that?
A soju here in a restaurant is between $3 and $4, right? In Germany, in a soju bottle in a Korean restaurant goes anywhere between 15 and 25.
Yeah, same.
Wow.
25 euros. Yeah.
I understand there's a lot of import, probably tax,
Taxes,
stuff like this, but they must do a good amount of money on this one.
It's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard to be a Korean in Europe.
Yeah, there's another business opportunity, right?
And any amazing person you met at MIT who really inspired you?
Oh.
No.
No,
No.
except me.
No, no, there definitely were. Like one of the guys that was on my like cohort of people I was pretty close with, he was like an Olympic runner type guy. Like I'm not sure if he qualified or if like he was right there, but he was like at almost like if he wasn't, then he was like right at Olympic caliber. So I thought that was pretty cool. But you have people from all over with really interesting backgrounds, and it's like you go there and you feel like, oh wow, like I feel like if you get into MIT, you've probably done pretty well in your schooling, but when you go there, you're like, oh, you just feel very normal.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like, because everybody did that too. But there's people who are into like rowing. So like rowing on the Charles River is really big. So people are into that. But you would think maybe, it's just nerdy school guys, but
no,
it's a whole range. It's like when I talk about that essay, they're always trying to pick like people who have something really stand out about them. It doesn't have to just be school. It can be like personal endeavors of athleticism or music, or you wrote a book or stuff like that.
Maybe that's a hard question, but are there many Koreans? Did you encounter any Koreans there?
I wouldn't have been able to recognize Koreans back then. Like now, of course, the name, the clothing style, the way they are, I could pick out Korean people like that. But the one thing that I do remember is I was right when I was about to graduate. It was at night. I was walking through campus, going back to where I lived, and there was an Asian man and a woman, and then they had like a child. He must have been 10 years old. He was a boy, and they started talking to me they were asking where some building was, and I asked, where are you guys from? And they're like, we're from Korea. And this is after I'd already accepted my offer at Samsung.
Okay.
So then we got into a discussion about it. But now I remember they were just showing him the school. Wow. So the Korean that I met, they were trying to inspire their son. So they were just walking the campus.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the one kind of Korean that I remember.
Man, I don't know. You are married with a Korean, right? So I don't know if you guys want to have kids, but let's assume when you have kids. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna bring your kids and show them the campus?
Maybe my wife will. I don't know if I'll have such enthusiasm to do that, but yeah.
But are you gonna push them to for education, or are you just gonna say, guys, do whatever you want to do?
I think hopefully I can figure out what they're good at when they're young,
right,
and push them in those directions. So if none of them like studying, then too bad. I'm just going to be the only one in the family then.
Right.
No sense in pushing it.
I agree so much.
The reason why I asked is because I was trying to find the number of Korean students enrolled in MIT before we in preparation of the interview. I couldn't find any number.
It's
so I was
pretty high, I bet.
Yeah, probably.
So I was wondering if there's any obvious, relationship between Koreans going to MIT.
Yeah, if you could find the numbers, I bet there would be kind of like overrepresented compared to the international student population, for sure.
Don't look for Italians. There must be, of course. Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.